Hi, this is Jeff Wimmer from Studio Cycles and StudioCycles.com. It is Wednesday, February 5th, I believe, 2013. And in this short YouTube video, I want to talk about the Studio Cycles custom Generation 3 refurbished Star Trek Spinner Pros in polar white. This is a Generation 3 Star Trek Spinner Pro. It is the same model that they're currently manufacturing. And when this bike is new in stock, it looks much closer to this. Although this is one of our custom refurbs in standard gray with the black wrinkle coat finish on the bases. And also on the crank. And the wrinkle coat finish is just a very durable finish. This particular bike takes a lot of abuse on the rear base, on the front base, because this is typically where people will stretch their calves before and during class. And also the crank area of the bike takes quite a bit of abuse just from shoes eventually rubbing the paint right off the crank. So this is what a stock, or this is what's close to what a stock Spinner Pro looks like. And again, this is one of our refurbished gray with black. But these are our Generation 3 Star Trek Spinner Pro refurbs with the polar white. And these also have the wrinkle coat finish on the crank arms and the bases as well. And these are bikes that came out of a club. They're approximately 2 to 3 years old. Now this is a bike that, in the condition we got this bike in, this is a bike that I guarantee you any online used fitness equipment company would have licked their chops. They would have gotten them in. Beware of terms like cleaned and serviced or inspected and cleaned, which typically will parallel like a 30 or a 60-day warranty. I mean, these bikes were actually fairly clean when they came into us, but when bikes like this come into me, I call this a canvas. And these bikes were stripped down completely to the bare frames. We sent them out, they were bead blasted, powder coated, and then they come back to us and we put in new flywheel bearings, new bottom bracket bearings. I mean, you can look inside this bike and tell that this bike's basically brand new on the inside. You know, brand new $95 Schwinn pedals, brand new saddles on most of these bikes. New resistance pads. The bikes are built, tuned to absolute perfection. The last thing that happens to these bikes before they're sold is I personally ride and tune these bikes myself. No one else in my company rides and tunes except for me. And I am the only outside consultant to Schwinn, to Star Trek, and to spinning, and have been for many, many, many years. The engineers from those companies call me. And it's a privilege to work with these companies. I started to work with Free Motion for about 3 months, and then I dumped that company and their bikes. But we carry in our warehouse, and you can look around and see, we are an indoor cycling company. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I've got $50,000 worth of bikes just on display. In our area above our workbenches here. Between the workbench displays and the displays above our offices, close to $50,000. Now here's another unique thing about our company. We have the Studio Cycles product testing area here, and on this mat we have all the bikes from Schwinn, the current models, Schwinn, Star Trek, Kaiser, Le Mans, and we even held over the Free Motion bikes just so people could test them just in case. We do get fact, I can't remember the last time anybody called me and asked me about a free motion bike. If you're a club, it is alleged that they're just blowing out their bikes. They're just giving them away to get them out there on the market. That's what I'm hearing. But this is our product testing area. And this is where you can come. People fly in. I had a person from Hong Kong come last week. They were in Los Angeles for business and they came by. They rode all the different bikes. They did a comparative analysis, listened to me yak about the difference between all the bikes. And this is one of those, this is the only place in the world that I know of where you've got all these bikes built and tuned side by side to be tested and compared. So that's another unique thing about us. But this video is about these black and white Spinner Pros. I think these are pretty badass. They look really nice. This is a group that's going out tomorrow. So I just wanted to share this video about these bikes. Now, if you're a consumer and you buy a refurbished bike from us, we give you lifetime warranties on most every refurbished bike we sell. Obviously, we do lifetime warranties on our brand new bikes. But one of the things that we do that no one else does is when you buy a brand new bike from us, we pull it out of the box. We actually take the bike apart. The bike's completely gone through. We do a drivetrain treatment if it's chain driven. And it's not unusual for us to find issues with flywheels, bottom brackets. It doesn't matter if it's a Schwinn, Trac, Kaiser, Le Mans. Here's a free motion here, an S11.9 that's brand new that we took apart. And these things are really, really hard to get apart, even when they're brand new. But what we do is we take the bike out of the box, we take it apart, we go through it, it's completely built, tuned, optimized, and then I personally ride and tune every bike. And then once all that work is done, they're racked, and we've got a lot of bikes in here right now. It's a little bit empty. We've got probably 450 bikes in here between the box bikes and the built bikes. But when you order a bike from us, we pull it, we pull the bases, we pull the pedals, the handlebars, the seat. We overpackage, double box, and ship FedEx. We call it bomb-proof packaging. But anyway, these are the Trac Spinner Pros, and I'll just take you over here real quick, just show you something else. This is our enormous parts area here. But if you look over here, this is a group of frames that just came back that we're building from. These are Generation 3 Trac Spinner Pro frames that just came back from the powder coaters. And you know, these are they're in brand new condition after being bead blasted and powder coated. There's some hot pink. There's a 2012 Spinner NXT frame ready to be built. There's a Generation 2 Trac Spinner NXT aluminum ready to be built. That's a 5-year-old frame. You'd never tell by looking at it. And there's a 15-year-old Schwinn Johnny G Spinner Pro. Just have to find time to build it. So we've got a lot of bikes in stock here. This is our warehouse. I'm going to give you some telephone numbers. I own the company. I'm available to customers, whether you're buying 1 bike, 20 bikes, 50 bikes, whatever. Home office, 888-909-BIKE. Cell phone, 818-470-2204. My office here in Hawthorne, 310-973-BIKE. And you can call me on those first 2 numbers pretty much 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. And I'll be happy to talk to you. If you're not sure about a bike that your neighbor tells you should buy, your trainer tells you should buy, if you're tired of going to the club and ride it and having to get there early to get a good bike, call me. Let's get you hooked up with a bike of your own. I'm Jeff Wimmer from Studio Cycles, studiocycles.com. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video.